All right, welcome back on this Wednesday. President Obama now says states don't have to enact his health care if they can come up with their own version of a plan. But there's a catch. The states must meet requirements set by the White House. But our next guest says the federal government just needs to butt out.
Mississippi Governor Haley Barbour joins us now live from Washington, D.C. Good morning to you, Governor.
Gretchen, thank you very much.
So when I heard the president say this, I thought, wow, maybe the states will like this idea. And then I thought, oh, maybe they won't, because will you already be caught in the web of having to pay for his health care plan when you finally get the choice to not want it?
Well, you know, it always sounds good, but the devil's in the details. When you get a 2,700-page bill, the devil's in the details. And while they talked about giving us the way to opt out, actually they say the secretary can't allow us to opt out of many of the requirements. So it's not what it sounds like. Same way with Medicaid. We want more flexibility. They say, oh, we'll work with you. But at the end of the day, it would be better to give us a block grant and get out of our way.
Well, Governor, the way it reports now is Medicaid, the eligibility for Medicaid will be so expansive that it's going to be impossible, even for a state like yours, which is in surplus, to afford. And for the first 2 years, you'll be lulled to sleep because the federal government will pay that. Then you'll have the choice of telling the people, okay, I'm going to opt out of federal funding, and we're going to do our own thing. Then you're going to be in the situation of denying people coverage that they've been used to.
20% of the people in my state are already on Medicaid, 600,000. It would go up to 1 million. A third of the people in my state would be on Medicaid. It is backloaded in cost, as you say. It is kind of lulling you to sleep, and they also did it for CBO numbers. But by full implementation, year 10 cost my state an additional $443 million. That is an 8% increase in my total budget.
Oh, man. Of course, your total budget would get bigger if you had some growth in the state. And that's what every governor is facing these days. I know later on today you're going to be speaking before the Chamber of Commerce down in Washington, D.C. That's really your message, isn't it? We got to grow some jobs, and we should not raise taxes.
Well, that's exactly right. My first 4 years as governor, we climbed out of a deep budget hole because revenue went up without increasing anybody's taxes. We had more taxpayers with more taxable income because our economy grew. Our goal today should be economic growth. Yet this administration has spent $7 trillion in 2 years, and the number of unemployed people has gone up 7 million. Maybe we ought to be happy they didn't spend $20 trillion.
Wow. Governor, let me ask you this. With the big situation going on in Wisconsin, I know that you would probably side with Governor Walker there. You're both Republicans, probably see it the same way. But would you take the stance that he has, where he is not budging, at least it appears, at all, and it's going to mean layoffs?
Well, Gretchen, it's not about party. It's about whether your state can afford to go forward. In Mississippi, we don't have collective bargaining. We don't withhold union dues. Our workers are perfectly allowed to join a union. If they want to, that's their business, great. And if they want to pay union dues, that's great. But we don't do it. And similarly, the federal government doesn't allow collective bargaining rights either. So this is not like there's some constitutional right at stake here. Many states either have no collective bargaining or limited collective bargaining. So I see where Scott Walker's headed, and I understand why he's going there. They got to control their spending.
Governor, Newt Gingrich is going to announce tomorrow an exploratory committee, we understand, to run for president. When will you announce?
I'm going to make a decision in April. I'm serious about it, but I certainly haven't decided to run. Newt's an old friend of mine. He's a great guy, and I think we got to have a new president. And I think the more good candidates that run on our side, the better.
All right. Well, if you do announce, we hope you'll do it right here on Fox and Friends. Haley Barbour, Governor of the great state of Mississippi. Thank you, sir. Have a great day down in D.C.
Thank you all.
You bet.